Welcome to Suzanne's studio. I'm Suzanne Barnett, your host, and tonight I have a special treat for you, my wonderful viewers. My guest tonight is Joe Ferrara. Joe is an incredible musician, not just the guitar, but he's a singer, he's a producer, and guess what? He knows over 1,000 songs. And there's so many other things, but I'm going to introduce Joe. Joe.
Good evening.
I could use the rest of the half hour telling about you. Well, first of all, we have to tell that you are a singer at the...
Well, I have two gigs, as we say, two regular performances. I play every Friday in Capitola at the Shadowbrook Restaurant, lovely restaurant.
What time?
6:30 till 10 in the Rock Room Lounge. It's a very romantic setting. And then every Sunday I have fun at the Katz Restaurant in Los Gatos, which has been reopened. It'll be 2 years now on New Year's Eve. So Sundays is 6 till 9 o'clock. And they're two very different gigs. Like I say, Shadowbrook's kind of romantic, and Katz is a good old roadhouse, and we have a lot of fun, some sing-alongs. We have a good time.
Well, I've been to Shadowbrook, not to Katz, and you are fabulous. What an audience. But the fact that you know 1,000 songs,
and
Joe.
I can't remember where I parked my car.
But let's start right from the beginning, quickly.
Sure.
When did you know that you were a musician? You loved music.
I was very young. I probably was in grammar school, 8, 9, 10 years old. And we had little rhythm bands in school and all that. I started learning to play guitar. Actually, as a good Italian boy, I was supposed to learn to play accordion. But luckily, the accordion lessons, they were full up. They didn't have any openings. And finally, when they did, I said to my mom, for some reason, I want to play guitar. So something had resonated with that, and I started learning guitar when I was 10 years old. And my parents took me to the Civic Auditorium in San Jose when I was 10 to see Harry Belafonte. And that kind of did it for me. I saw him, and I knew instinctively that I could do that. That was something that I wanted to do, to be able to sing and entertain. And I'd watched all the old variety shows, Dean Martin and Perry Como, and they made it look so easy, and they were having a good time singing with their friends. And I never doubted that I could do it. I always had that confidence from a young age. And I just started to sing naturally because it was coming out of me, and never really studied the discipline. When I got to college, I didn't want to make it my major. When I was in high school, I had a folk band, I had a rock band. So I was playing all those musics as those tunes and those sounds were coming along. And then in college, I finally realized that's what I wanted to do. I was at Santa Clara University, but they had music major was not available. They had a department. So I transferred to San Jose State, and I got my degree there in San Jose State. Studied music, theory, voice, the whole 9 yards. And I can put all that application into my performing now when I play in the clubs.
And you mentioned the word passionate.
Oh, yes.
Don't you think that is necessary to really do your thing? I mean, a lot of people are passionate and they're not successful like you.
Well,
but you said that this is because you have worked so hard.
Well, it's true. When I meet someone, I don't ask them what they do. I ask them what their passion is.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I say, what's your passion? When wake up in the morning, what is it you can't wait to do? And some people instinctively start telling me, and other people just kind of have no real passion. And I'm thinking, how sad for you, because your passion is what drives you. And all the rest of it comes and goes. Economic times will rise and fall, and other things, your health, you'll have issues, as we both know, and all that. But your passion is what carries you. And some people don't want to work and put the discipline in to follow up on that. And some people do at later stages in life. We have countless examples of all that. But
Exactly.
I agree. I think your passion is what drives you. And I never doubted that when I was in college, when I was studying music, that was what I needed to do that, just because I was learning so much. The thirst for knowledge is what was driving me. And when I got the idea of the comic store to help sustain me, because comics were a real passion for me, and I owned the comic store in Santa Cruz, it was supposed to be a hobby. And it's 37 years.
37 years. Let's hear a song.
Let's
and
hear a
I'm going to
song.
ask you some other questions.
Sure.
I got to
sure.
save something.
You got to save
So
something.
we've got to hear you sing.
Well, I learn a lot of songs, and every once in a while I say, how come I haven't been singing this song for a long time? I have recently added this to the repertoire. No one to walk with, all by myself. No one to talk with, but I'm happy on a shelf. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Yes, you, just you, oh you. Now it's for certain, the one I love. I'm through with flirting, it's just you I'm dreaming of. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm on about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in that corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, I don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm on about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Yes, you, just you, oh you. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you.
Yay. Oh, you are so good.
Thank you.
You
And
are,
as I tell my
Joe.
audience, the more you drink, the better I get.
So do some more.
Some
then,
more?
Yeah, of course.
That was Fats Waller.
Yes.
That's one of those great old songs that has been around forever. And I'm always very excited. I say to myself, even now, I'll tell you, I can't wait to discover some old song that's been around 50 years or so that I never heard. And I go, wow, what a great song. And I recently heard one of those. This is a song, I discovered this because recently Willie Nelson just recorded a new CD of duets with various women singers. And I did some research on this song. This was recorded in 1949. It was simultaneously a big hit for both Bing Crosby and Margaret Whiting. And that wouldn't happen today. You wouldn't have the same song by two different singers, you know. Faraway places with strange sounding names, far away over the sea. Those faraway places with strange sounding names are calling me. Going to China, maybe Siam, I want to see for myself those faraway places I've been reading about in a book that I took from the shelf. I start getting restless whenever I hear the whistle of a train. I long for the day I can get underway and search for those castles in Spain. Call me a dreamer, maybe I am. I know that I'm longing to see those faraway places with their strange sounding names that are calling me. I start getting restless whenever I hear the whistle of a train. I long for the day I can get underway and search for those castles in Spain. Call me a dreamer, maybe I am. I know I'm longing to see those faraway places with their strange sounding names that are calling me, that are calling me.
Joe, that's beautiful. I want to ask you a question that just occurred to me. There was something with that song that kind of made me sad a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I know music does bring out one's emotions. What if you have a song that makes you sad? How do you get that across?
You know, that's any performer. The goal is to connect with your audience. Mm-hmm. The goal, what better tribute could a performer have than to have someone say that their performance of a song has moved them in some way?
Yeah, and he's sitting.
And, you know, that's, how do I do that? All I try to do, and I say this to anybody who will listen to me, you know, I'm the vehicle for the song. We live in the day of American Idol, where the kids are told they have to do something to show off, and they vocalize, and they'll hold a note for 18 minutes, and they'll run all over the scale with it, and there's no connection. And yet somebody can come out and sing 2 or 3 notes, and you're hooked right into their performance, because of the honesty of their performance and the generosity of their performance. You can tell right away when someone is tuned into the music, tuned into the song, and allowing themselves to get out of the way and let the song come through. And as a performer, that's what I strive to do. You know, I worked my way through that. When I was younger, I was a hot shot, you know, and I tried to do a lot of flourishes and all that kind of stuff. And then I realized that I was doing the songs an injustice. And I've had many people tell me that they actually listen to the words when I sing.
And,
you know?
And it's not just your music, but that's why you're so really talented, because you certainly move me.
Well, and for a performer, a lot of people, it took me a while to get this too. You're very vulnerable. When you're sitting there, it's just me and the guitar. You know, if you're a painter and you paint something and it's hanging on a wall somewhere, whether someone loves it or hates it, you're not subjected to that right away. You might get a letter later on saying, we love this. So, you know, when you're a performer, if nobody likes it, you don't hear the applause.
Exactly.
And that can be crushing, you know. So the vulnerability, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, is something that people respond to.
But does that move you too?
Oh, are you kidding? Absolutely. There are times that when I play a song and I'm saying to myself in the middle of the performance, man, I've played this song I don't know how many times. And for some reason, I'm into that moment in that song, and I don't know what makes that element different. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I think it's that every audience, you'll hear performers say too, every audience is different. I can say I've played in the same club for years and years, but every night is different. And what makes it different is a combination of factors, starting with the audience. And if they start wanting to hear these kinds of songs that we're doing, I've done a whole night of doing just some old rock and roll songs, or whatever, depending on the audience.
I see.
But being in touch with the music, try not. I've had the great fortune of singing the national anthem for the Giants.
Oh yeah, tell
for
about
many
that.
years. And there was one year where I actually had laryngitis, and I called up and I said, I can't do it. And the woman in charge, Valerie, she said, you'll be fine. She had more confidence in me than I did. When we got there, I actually got in early and did a sound check while they were having their batting practice. And I started to sing in a whisper so I wouldn't strain my throat, because if you got laryngitis, the slightest little pressure will crack your voice, and it'll sound like a clarinet. And, you know, that's terrible. So I would sing, oh, say, can you see? And the guy in the sound booth broke in. He said, you going to sing any louder than that? I said, nope. He said, okay. And he cranked it up in the booth. So when I sang, it sounded like a hymn. And people in the crowd is so used to hearing people oversing the anthem that when I undersang it, that they responded very, very respectfully to it. They listened, and I got the best ovation I've had ever.
No
and I said, thank you, God, for getting me through it. Don't ever make me have to do it again. But I learned a valuable lesson, absolutely, about underperforming and about letting the song and the music come through. Mm-hmm.
Play another one, please.
Play another one.
Yes.
Okay, here is an old folk song from when I was in high school, playing all those great old folk music.
Yeah.
Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away ere I forget all the joys that are mine. Today, I'll be a dandy, I'll be a rover. You'll know who I am by the song that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover. Who cares what tomorrow shall bring? Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away ere I forget all the joys that are mine. Today, I can't be contented with yesterday's glories. I can't live on promises, winter to spring. Today is my moment, and now is my story. I'll laugh, and I'll cry, and I'll sing. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away ere I forget all the joys that are mine today.
Joe, that's so beautiful. You're really moving me.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
I have to tell you, one of my dear friends just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was 82, but he had a good full life, my
Yeah.
friend Bob, and he loved that song.
Yeah.
And every time he came into the club, he'd say, Joe, play Strawberries. I go,
Yeah.
Bob, that's not the name of the song. It's today. He says, play Strawberries.
Yeah.
So I know that in January I'll be playing that at his service.
Of course, of
So
course.
the song takes on new meaning for me now, of course.
So I'm sure you're moved too.
Yes, absolutely.
Before we end the show, I
Yes.
think it's really important for us to talk about what you have done for prostate cancer. Could you tell
Well,
us a bit?
In a nutshell,
Yeah.
I'm an 8-year survivor. And as we all know, most cancers don't have symptoms. And once you have symptoms, it's the cat's out of the box. I was fortunate enough that I got detected early. I had surgery, and I've been cancer-free for 8 years. I've been a member of the prostate support group in Santa Cruz County for the balance of that time, the 8 years. And we do various different things. I've used my music to help raise awareness.
Stop, excuse me.
Okay.
You have to tell.
The marathon.
It was,
Yes.
yeah.
All right. So I knew I wanted to do something to kind of put it on the map because, as we know, people know about breast cancer, all that stuff, but not prostate cancer. So back in 2008, I sang at the Shadowbrook on a Sunday from 10 a.m. till 10 in the evening, 12 hours. I was off stage a total of 35 minutes. I was on stage for all of that time, and I sang 184 songs without repeating a song and without using any sheet music. It was just me and the guitar for 184 songs. And the whole idea was to attempt to set a world record. Now, the Guinness people said it wasn't they didn't recognize the category, so it's not in their book. So I say it's an unofficial record for a 12-hour marathon. But the whole idea was to raise awareness for prostate cancer.
How'd you go to the bathroom?
I had 35 minutes. You know, when I play in the clubs, I sing 6:30 to 10 without going to the bathroom. It gets a little more challenging now that I don't have a prostate.
Yeah.
But, you know, you learn your body, you learn to work with it. But so that started it, and now we do a song fest every year in Santa Cruz. We do a song fest to raise awareness, educate people, and I'm really proud of a couple of months ago, one of my friends, Howard Wage, who's the leader of our group, he and I went to Palma High School, an all-boys high school in Salinas. And through the course of 6 different periods over the day, we taught to the entire student body just about basic education, about what they needed to know. And we told them, look, this isn't for you. Most of your dads are getting to be in their 40s, and they need to know this stuff. And I asked, how many people here know what kind of test a woman gets to look for breast cancer? And they all raised their hands. They knew mammogram. And then I said, okay, well, how many of you know what the test is that men take to look for prostate cancer? And nobody raised their hand in an all-boys school. And that tells you right away the level of education that is really lacking. So that's what we're trying to do, is educate them so they can go have the conversations. Most men don't even like to go to the doctor. I can work with this. I'm macho. I can work through anything. And the idea that it doesn't have symptoms, the idea that you have to be vigilant and proactive is it's a matter of fact for a woman to do that. That's just part of their psyche and their build. But men, you really have to break down those barriers to get them to understand you're not being less masculine by taking charge of your own health. So I've done a lot of work in that area. Still continuing to raise awareness whenever we can in terms of prostate cancer.
Would you play another song, please?
One more song?
Thank you for sharing
But
that.
of course. I'll talk to anybody anytime about it because I was very fortunate that I got early detection. And we know that there are people who can't say they're that fortunate. I got a gal who's always late every time we have a date, but I love her. Yes, I love her. I'm gonna walk right up to her gate and see if I can get it straight, 'cause I want her. I'm gonna ask her, is you ain't my baby? The way you're acting lately makes me down. Yours is still my baby, baby, baby. Seems my flame in your heart's done gone out. A woman is a creature that's always been strange. Just when you're sure of one you find, she's gone and made a change. Is you ain't my baby? Is my baby still my baby true? Or has my baby found somebody new? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. has always been strange. Just when you're sure of one you find, she's gone and made a change. Is you is, or is you ain't my baby? Is my baby still my baby true? Or has my baby found somebody new?
You can do everything. You
Louis
can do
Jordan and his
everything.
All-Stars, 1936, I think
Wow.
that was. Isn't that a great song?
Okay, we're just about done, unfortunately. Promise you have to come back once a year.
I promise. I love being here
promise.
with you. This is so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And we have to just quickly tell about the comic store.
I own Atlantis Fantasy World, 37 years in downtown Santa Cruz. And it's an award-winning store internationally. I know friends all over the world who have comic stores, and it's a third family, you know.
Yeah.
My music family is my second family. My comic business is my third family. It's a real joy, and I'm there pretty much 5 days a week.
So you have a wonderful life, don't you?
I'm very fortunate that I worked hard at the things I love to be able to reap the benefits of that work, and yes, I do. Every day, it's a real pleasure to be able to put a smile on someone's face.
And you deserve it.
Well, I appreciate
You really are.
Thank you.
What thrills me about being, having this show is that I get to meet people like you and enjoy your talent so much.
And I always say the best part of my chosen careers, music or comic, is the people I've gotten to meet.
You too.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
too.
Puts a smile.
I want to thank you so very much. I wish you a wonderful holiday season.
Thank you.
And only the best of health in the new year.
Yes.
And forever.
And for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you being here. And I'm just going to thank the audience and my wonderful crew for watching. I always say this. I can't wait to see you next time. Happy holidays, and please play while we're going off.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. One day I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow,